and introducing our chief guest, Professor Dr. Ved Nanda Ji, a distinguished professor of law, a columnist, a writer of 24 books, law commentator, philanthropist, and many more. He got so many accomplishments and credentials under his belt that if I start speaking about everything, probably we will need another event to talk about that. But in brief, a select few accomplishments. Mr. Nandaji, Dr. Nandaji has served as US delegate to the World Federation of the United Nations Associations in Geneva and on the Governing Council of the United Nations Association of the USA. He has received numerous national and international awards, such as Padma Bhushan, one of the highest civilian awards given by the Government of India, Louis B. Sun Award from the American Bar Association International Law Section for his distinguished long-standing contribution to the field of public international law, and the National US-India Chamber of Commerce Lifetime Achievement Award. And the list goes on. In March 2020, Professor Nanda received the University of Denver's Founder Faculty Medal, the first faculty member in the university's 160-year history to be so honored. As I mentioned, his credentials continues to go on, but currently he is a university professor and Thompson G. Marsh Professor of Law at the University of Denver, and very well-known personality. So without further delay, I would like to welcome our chief guest of this evening, of this great inaugural event, Professor Dr. Ved Nanda Ji.
Please unmute your mic, Ved Nanda Ji. Thank you.
Sorry about that. But thank you very much for this very generous and kind introduction. I'm deeply honored and humbled to be with you. Today's program on this very auspicious day of Sankranti, Lodi, Pongal, it augurs well for this wonderful organization that you have established. Today, after listening to the speakers that you had, I feel very good about it because you have had not simply spiritual leaders, you had Shri Ji, you had Jeffrey Armstrong Ji, you had people from the executive, people from the legislature, and people who are accomplished business people, entrepreneurs speaking today. The High Commissioner of India, the Consul General. And so it gives me a great deal of hope that with all these contexts, the Canadian Hindu Chamber of Commerce will not simply thrive, but play an exceedingly important role in Canadian society. As I looked at the launching of this occasion, the question that came up to my mind was, why Hindu chamber? There are Indian chambers, there are Indo-Canadian, South Asian chambers, and so many others. And you gave me two reasons, and both of them are equally important. That Hindu diaspora in Canada, from all over the world, not simply India, not simply Africa, not simply the Caribbean, not simply Fiji, Sri Lanka, all over Nepal, and then you have this diaspora spread all over the country. And as I looked at your board of directors and board of advisors, and all those accomplished people in various parts of the country, and involved in so many, engaged in so many activities, that really again gave me a great deal of confidence that as you have played an important role as Hindus for 100 years plus in Canada, and contributed immensely to Canada's well-being as a fabric of that society, considering that as your own Karam Bhumi. And so I was very pleased to see that reason where you said that you are going to be representing them, you are going to be improving Hindus and Hindu life, but also that you are going to play a very important role in the life of the country where you are as Karam Yogis in that part. But the second part that was equally important to me is that as Hindus, you said to in your own vision and mission, and I was very pleased about it, and you said that you are going to be protecting, preserving, and promoting Hindu values. That as entrepreneurs, you'll do what all business people do, that you'll make money, and you should, but at the same time, that money is going to be used properly, and that you are going to play an important role in the life of that society, and to ensure that the well-being of that society is also one of your goals. Swami Vivekananda appropriately said, Jan Seva, that you serving human beings is serving God, and that's what you are doing. But at the same time, those Hindu values, where we talked about it, Shri mentioned that Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina in a way because he talked about the happiness of all, but he also talked about the entire humanity being one family, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina. And, you know, when we say that the entire humanity is one family, then I think we have got responsibility toward that. And along with all that, today, when you think about business community, the United Nations has been working tirelessly in order to see that there be some codes of conduct, there be some kind of responsibilities on business people to work for human rights, to work for well-being. Shri talked about the environment, and Hindus from the time immemorial have felt that nature and human beings, they are one. We take care of the ecology. We consider Dharti as Ma. And so in all that setting, I feel very, very strongly that the United Nations has said that governments are the ones that protect human rights. But at the same time, while they protect human rights, responsibility of the business community is also to make sure that those human rights are preserved. So corporate social responsibility, taking care of the community, taking care of the nature, that is what at the present time Hindu values are. So I'm so delighted that you have launched it on this very auspicious day, Sankranti, Lodi, Pongal, all those that we talk about. And all over the country celebrate this day in a beautiful way. And I think on this day you have launched. And so I hope and I know and I feel confident that you will play an important role in the life of the country, that you will succeed. And as you are spread all over the country, my hope is, my aspiration is that young people, as was mentioned earlier, will be involved in it, that you will have people from all sectors of life in it, lawyers, judges, business people, and all of them would play an important role in the life of Canada. I was very pleased to see that Ajay Shah ji from the United States, who is the World Hindu Council of America, is here with you. There are some other Americans here. You have set an example. Why shouldn't in America, where also there are all these people, Hindu diaspora from all over the world, and where are all these Hindu entrepreneurs, why shouldn't they also have a United States Hindu Chamber of Commerce. So I think you have set a high bar. You have given an example. Your example and your model should be followed then in England, in New Zealand, in Australia, in the United States, in many of Middle Eastern countries. And so I want to congratulate you for taking this special initiative, for setting a model, for setting this high tone, and my warmest wishes for a very, very successful Chamber's activities, its work. And I wish that I were there with you in person, but I hope that one of these days I'll come and personally greet you and personally welcome you. So my congratulations, warmest wishes, and Sadar Pranam to everyone.